Let's start. We just talked about employment. We'll come back to that in a minute. Let's talk about the debt ceiling deal. Would you have voted for it as it passed?
I would have voted for the debt ceiling deal because while it doesn't include everything I would want to see, I think it represented a step forward in that the big Biden economic plan lost no ground in this deal. And now not only is the debt ceiling solved, but we have some fiscal or budgetary certainty over the next 2 years. So the opportunity for brinksmanship, a government shutdown, or the utilization of the budget process for political purposes in an election year is much, much less. So would I like to have seen no, if you will, give when it came to work requirements? Of course. Would I like to see greater domestic investments? Yes. But in all, I think President Biden masterfully crafted, if you will, a bipartisan agreement. And the votes in the House and the Senate demonstrate significant, if you will, majorities in both houses for this deal.
Significant majorities and bipartisan. There were more Democrats in the House who voted for this deal than Republicans. In the Senate, different story. But a very interesting outcome there. And I guess you would have to say that both sides won. One side didn't win more than the other.
Politically, no doubt. Both sides got something politically. To some extent, Kevin McCarthy defied expectations. In other respects, Joe Biden skillfully did not give up any significant ground when, at the beginning of this, McCarthy and the Republicans wanted a 10-year deal. They wanted significant cuts. They wanted draconian work requirements. None of that evolved. And therefore, I think what it demonstrates is that bipartisanship is not dead, but still difficult to achieve. So we should celebrate the moment.
The ultimate deal did not dismantle much, if anything, of what the Biden administration was able to get through in the past year. Let's go to the work requirement provision here. To me, it seems like a rather modest increase in the work requirements, basically expanding the age under this, I guess it's the SNAP program, to require people to have 80 hours a month of either work or work-related training.
So it moved the age up to 54, I think, from 49.
Correct.
But what it also did was it expanded eligibility for people like veterans and homeless and people coming out of the foster care system. So into some respects, it may have raised the age, but by expanding the eligibility, I think at the end of the day, the work requirement isn't going to be that significant. And there's an opportunity, I believe, for states to opt out. The larger question is, why do we have to distrust Americans who need SNAP or need Medicaid and impose draconian paperwork administrative requirements on them? That's the broader policy issue. And I've opposed it because I don't think that at the end of the day, most able-bodied Americans who can work are going to want to work. We should trust people a little bit more when it comes to this. Be that as it may, I do want to also say that the jobs report beat expectations once again, that the continuation of job creation and the performance of the labor market it demonstrates why the gloom and doom caucus, which has basically been howling for over a year, that a recession is on the horizon. They've been absolutely wrong. And then I believe number three, with this jobs report, we should also understand that there's still Americans out there working part-time who want to work full-time, and that there are many Americans in low-wage jobs who want to work in a job that pays better, or who wants to see that low-wage job give them a pay raise. So there's work in the economy, but I'm going to celebrate this report because it represents consistent progress when it comes to job creation and the labor market.